So it's my first night in Ho Chi Minh City. At the top of this street, there's a little banh mi place. I think I'm going to go for one of these. No, there's no choice on this menu. This is basically selling one thing, and that's these little kind of burger slider things. 27,000 for one, so just under £1. Can't fault this. I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to try and find somewhere to sit down to eat this banh mi, but it's not proven to be very easy, to be honest. There's nowhere to sit. There's not even any like kind of shops that are closed so I can sit on the steps because everything's still open. Banh mi was absolutely amazing. The last time I was here, I found a place called the Bookshelf Cafe, which was run by an English fellow and his Vietnamese wife. And so they did lots of Vietnamese dishes, but also English classics as well. They do English breakfast, they do shepherd's pie, they do full Sunday roast, they do fish and chips, and they also do a vegan alternative of every meal on the menu. It was a really cool place last time, so I'm going to head there now and see if it's still open and check out the menu. And oh my god, there's a 7-Eleven. I've not seen one of them in a while. This is one half of the walking street then. Well, it's very quiet. Then again, it is Tuesday at like kind of 6:30, but all the bars are open. But last time I was here, wow, this place was rammed. A lot of these bars are like unbelievably loud, and yeah, they're expensive as well. So what you best off doing when you're on this street is just finding a little cafe. This is one, look, here we go, we've got beers for 20,000. Just these little cafes here. I'm okay, mate. Maybe later, mate. Well, look how colourful it is up here. It's supposed to be a walking street, this. Wonder how much beer is in these. Wow, look at this. There we go then. Fish and cheap. We have peas there as well. Sunday roast. Meat pie. We've got a lot more in here as well. All day breakfast. Let's have a look. Full English breakfast, 149. 2 sausage, 2 bacon, 2 fried eggs, hash browns, fried mushrooms, Heinz baked beans, fried tomatoes, 2 toasts, and a mug of tea. Wow, a £5. It looks good as well. It's my last city in Vietnam, so I don't particularly want to miss out on, you know, authentic Vietnamese food for the last time by having bangers and mash. Over here we have Crazy Night, and apparently since 2009 they have crazy girls. They have crazy girls in there. Do you have crazy girls in here? They are trying to get you in the bars, of course, like in most places like this, but they're very friendly. You know, you can have a good crack with them. But yeah, I have no idea how much drinks would be in these places. But I imagine they're about 3-4 times more expensive than if you just sit at a little bar. Got to watch your devices when you're walking through the streets. I like how this is a walking street. I'm okay, man. This is unreal, this one. So we're right on the main walking street now. Obviously not in one of the crazy bars like the ones to my right and left. Beer's 20,000 here, and it's a big beer as well. This woman's gone past on a bike about a dozen times while I've been sat here. I'm on my bloody hell 4th beer, and she's selling like dried fish and dried, well, I don't know what it is, squid or whatever. And she's finally making a sale, so it looks like what she does is she actually does fry them up again to warm them up. But yeah, every time she passes it absolutely stinks. She has some competition now. There's 2 more over here. It's starting to get a little bit busy. It's 9 o'clock. Well, it's certainly a bit lively now. It's not mega busy. I mean, I guess it is, but for Ho Chi Minh, this is still pretty quiet. But it's still early for Ho Chi Minh. Well, these weren't here before. I guess this is why you pay extra for your beer. You get to look at all the lovely Vietnamese ladies. When you're walking down like a red light district in Amsterdam or something like that, you can't film, obviously. But here, they're never shit. got this crossing the road business down to a T. Oh, there's a woman asleep there in a hammock tied to the fence. Yeah, main road, busy road, bikes flying around all over the place. Do I stop and wait? Again, I was like, just literally walk across. Don't stop. They will dodge you. I was sat in that bar and I'd had like 5 beers in there, so I thought I'll just come away from Beer Street and yeah, go wander on one of the little side streets and see what I can find. Well, I've come into a place called Frolic just because it was on this street, and yeah, I appear to have come into Vietnam's only LGBT friendly bar. So on the menu it said it was 50,000 for beer. I've only said it's not 50,000, it's 30. Okay, all the way down the street, just women are coming up to me and just like, I'm just like on the pole tonight. It's like literally they can't resist me. I mean, they might be charging, I don't know. I was on my way home and I saw a few guys playing pool, and so I decided to get some sushi from Circle K, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to kick some ass at pool. That's what I'm going to do. 60,000 for the cheapest beer. So it's like £2. And I just walked out because it was too expensive. Why pay 60 when you can get the same drink for 20? I'm having one more beer. And it's going to be a 20,000 beer at that. I'm certainly not going to get a 20,000 beer in any of these bars, so I just keep on walking. Just down here, you can sit and watch the same thing, if that's what you want, for 3 times less the price. So bloody loud. Who wants to sit here? Here we go, 20,000. I decided that no matter what time I end up going out tonight, I'm still getting up at 9 o'clock. It's now 3:30. I've got about a 10-minute walk back to my hostel, but I am passing the old 7-Eleven. Is it even open? Yes, it is. The 7-Elevens in Vietnam are not like 7-Elevens in Thailand. I was resigned. I'm going to buy a bloody cold bacon sandwich, which is going to be terrible. And then I found the warm section. So I've got, I don't even know what I've got. I think it's a chicken baguette thing. I have a chicken banh mi and some beef wrapped in betel. 2 meals, 50,000. Got the whole bloody street to myself. Phone's on the floor. Christ. Here we go. Let's get into the chicken thing first. Look at that. That was about 50 pence. The 7-Eleven food was pretty shit, but it did the job. So now it's what time is it? It's nearly 3 o'clock in the morning. I've told myself I've got to get up at 9, so 6 hours sleep, and then I'm back out to explore the wonderful Ho Chi Minh city. It's a very late start after a pretty stupid night, to be honest. I didn't need to stay out till bloody 3:30 in the morning, but I did. Now I've got a lot to do today because I'm only here for 3 days. I set my alarm this morning for 9:30 and I got out of bed at 12:30. So we've got lots of things to go and see today, starting with the Ben Thanh market. Now, I've not eaten anything yet, I've not had any coffee. Maybe we can get some in here. Let's go and take a look. All seems to be clothing and stuff. Not found any food yet. It's a place to come for your coffee. Thought I could smell it. Well, we're in the food part. You can tell because as soon as you walk in, you're getting attacked by women with menus. This is the Bitexco Financial Tower. 68 stories high, and that thing up there, that's a viewpoint. This pedestrian area will lead right up to some of Ho Chi Minh's most famous sites. But before I go looking at those, I need to get some food, and last time I came to a place just over on the left that was really good, so I might go and check that out again. There's no shortage of food options. All of these seem to be different cafes, and again, what looks like it used to be residential building has now been converted into all different cafes and restaurants. After walking past about 1 million food options to go specifically to one place on here, bloody closed. God damn it. Well, I'm certainly not eating here. It's actually quite rare. You don't see many McDonald's in Vietnam. And I've not eaten kind of franchise drink food for... I can't remember the last time I went to a McDonald's or a KFC or a Pizza Hut. The food in Vietnam, and then before that Malaysia, and then before that Thailand, is just cheap and really good. So why would you go to a place like that? So we've reached the top of this big long pedestrian walkway from the pier at the bottom right up to this statue of the great leader himself, Mr. Ho Chi Minh. We have the old French colonial city hall, which was built in the early 1900s and is now the home of the People's Committee. Another example of French colonial architecture is the Opera House, which unfortunately has been covered up. Looks like they will have some kind of celebration for Tet, I would imagine. Right, I've come into this Japanese restaurant. It looks a little bit fast foody, to be honest. It's got great views on Google Maps, and I've got myself a set, some grilled pork with rice, some soup and some veg and Pepsi, and it's just over £3. Here goes then. That's the pork. We've got some of this veg, I think it's garlic and something or other, and presuming that's some kind of miso soup. I'm presuming that this is the start of Book Street then, which is fairly self-explanatory. It's a street full of bookshops. Lots of bookshops and cafes, book-themed cafes. And here we have the Notre Dame Cathedral, which is temporarily closed. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to go inside, but it looks like the whole front of the cathedral is surrounded by scaffolding. So that's a bit of a shame. Oh well. Here we have the Saigon Central Post Office. Early 19th century, French, and still a post office. It's a very communist style monument, and right at the bottom we even have some old mosaic. If you didn't know I was in Vietnam, you'd be forgiven for thinking that I was in some former Soviet country with some of the monuments and memorials and decorations. I've walked 20 minutes to come and look at this church, and the sign when you come in says no photos or videos. So I've come around the other side. Maybe surprisingly, but one of the things that I haven't really talked about much during my time in Vietnam on the vlogs is the war with America. Well, now I've reached the War Remnants Museum, so hopefully we're going to find out a little bit more about the devastation and the effect that the war had on the people of Vietnam. So this big beast is the Chinook, which was used primarily for moving soldiers and supplies. This is the UH-1H Hewitt, which was used for transport, ambulance, scouting missions, fire coordination. I didn't do too much filming inside the museum because it's not really that interesting for people to watch other people in a museum. But I highly recommend paying a visit if you're in Ho Chi Minh. There's some incredible stuff here. I mean, this is obviously really cool if you're into the military and the old planes that they used to use. But the hardest part for me was the Agent Orange section. And also the section on the war crimes, when Americans were basically going into small Vietnamese villages and just basically massacring everyone. If you want to watch sports when you're in Ho Chi Minh, this is the place. Look at that for a screen. Well, the weather in Vietnam just goes from one extreme to the other. We've had torrential rain, we've had it where it's been freezing, and now it's absolutely scorching hot. Although I've literally just said that, the sun's gone behind the clouds. So yeah, second full day in Ho Chi Minh, and what better way to start the day than with a full English. I was on my way to the Bookworm Cafe to go and get the English breakfast. I just came down this like kind of little side street and found a place called the Hungry Pig that also did English breakfast, and it looked really good on the menu. So I decided to go for that, and yeah, spot on. I'd be happy with that in bloody England. All the tables been put away. It was bang on 8 o'clock last time, it's 11 minutes past now. But literally every bar removes the tables and chairs. We don't try and hide them or anything. In a couple of minutes, there'll be a police car coming down. There's the police car. And once that's gone, you can see they're already putting the tables back up. Brilliant. Well, this is the Equality Bar. We have the girl dancing like we do on every other street, but we also have guys up there as well. I'm going to try and continue my English day in Ho Chi Minh. This is what a walking street in Vietnam looks like. Right, I'm trying to get off here and go to the Bookworm Cafe. Grab some bloody fish and chips and mushy peas. Look what I have to do to get myself some quality English food. It's not easy. When I first arrived in Ho Chi Minh 2 days ago, I looked at the menu and saw that they did fish and chips and English breakfast and jacket potatoes and Sunday roast, shepherd's pie, all the bloody stuff. And I thought, bloody hell, am I just going to eat here for the next 4 days? I've not been here once. So I'm going to go and have the fish and chips, and if it's good, I might come back for the Sunday roast tomorrow on my last day in not only Ho Chi Minh, but my last day in Vietnam. Bloody hell. Is it here? I think it's just here. Well, there's no one in here. There was no one in here when I looked the other night. And yeah, I mean, judging by the service, I can understand why. So I ordered them, not a smile, not anything, which is unlike Vietnam. Normally people are very, very friendly, but here I was like, yeah, whatever. As long as the fish and chips are good, I don't care.